Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to another edition of Wildcats Weekly here at West 11 Sports Media. I'm Cody West, and we're joined by Keith Logan, as always. Keith, how you doing today?
I'm doing great today.
Well, Keith, it's been another exciting week at Littlefield High School for sports. I know that it's that busy time of year with a lot of things happening. We've got baseball, softball, track and field, tennis, golf, all kinds of things happening here, but it is starting to wind down as you get into the postseason in some of these activities. First off, with golf, the Wildcats were at the regional golf tournament at Abilene last week on Monday and Tuesday. The Wildcats played at Diamondback Golf Course and, of course, did very well. Unfortunately, no one advanced to state for the Wildcats golf team, but still a very good season for the golf team. And then individually for the Lady Cats, Caroline Cozart went to regionals as well, and we want to congratulate her.
Yeah, definitely. I think both programs, the girls and the boys, are definitely getting better each time they play golf. So I think they're getting better, and I think Caroline Cozart definitely has a bright future going forward. I know she's going to be out there practicing and definitely wants to go to the state tournament next year.
Yes, sir, and of course she is an underclassman for the Littlefield Lady Cats. For the boys team at regionals, just to give you the kids that were competing out there at Abilene, Seth Clayton, Dylan Brown, Braden Reno, Hunter Kleiber, and Kobe Trotter make up the Wildcats golf team, so we want to congratulate them as well on an outstanding season. And golf comes to an end at Littlefield High School at the regional championships. Of course, the boys played on Monday and Tuesday, and then, like we said, the girls, Caroline Cozart, as an individual medalist, competed on Wednesday and Thursday of last week. Also, we've got baseball and softball still in district play, but we're getting ready to wind down the season here. It was senior day on Saturday, this past Saturday at Lady Cats Field. The seniors were recognized along with their parents and loved ones prior to the game. Lady Cats will be playoff bound, kind of by default. There's only 4 teams in the district, and 4 teams get to go to the playoffs. Lady Cats, I believe, are currently sitting in 3rd place ahead of Dimmitt, who is currently in 4th place. So your standings, Shallow Waters in 1st, Muleshoe 2nd, Littlefield 3rd, and then Dimmitt in 4th place as the Lady Cats played their final home game on Saturday. You and I were there. The Lady Cats went down in defeat to Muleshoe, but the Lady Cats played tough.
Yeah, they played really tough. Really, where the game got out of hand is Muleshoe had 2 big innings with scoring 5 runs. For the most part, we were able to battle back. Muleshoe jumped up to a 10-row lead, and then we had to battle back, and we kind of cut the lead down, and then once again, they had a big I don't know exactly what inning it was, but they had another 5-run inning and kind of put the game out of hand.
Yes, sir, but I was proud of the way the Lady Cats fought. They never gave up. Like you said, Muleshoe jumped out to a 10-run lead, and then we closed the gap and felt like we were kind of chipping away at that lead, but then at the end they came up with that 5-run inning, Muleshoe did, to clinch the victory for the Lady Mules at Lady Cats Field. But with just 1 game remaining and then a playoff run for the Lady Cats, Coach Ashley Clark, in her first year as head coach of the Lady Cats softball team, seems like they've got them on the right track. Of course, the former head coach, Brian Alcorn, is still there as an assistant, and he's helping as well. But you got to feel good about the future of the Lady Cats softball program.
Yeah, definitely. Coach Clark is definitely pushing, the lower grades, middle school and elementary to try to build up teams and trying to get travel teams together and try to, build a tradition here in Littlefield for softball.
Yes, sir. And, of course, once the Lady Cats get into the playoffs, you and I will be there with a play-by-play broadcast here at West 11 Sports Media. Very excited. Of course, last year the Lady Cats did win a bi-district championship. Hopefully they'll do the same this year and maybe even take it a next step and go a step further. So wherever and whenever the Lady Cats play in the playoffs, we'll be there with the broadcasts here at West 11 Sports. On the boys' side, Littlefield baseball team currently riding a 3-game losing streak in district that was broken in a non-district game on Friday night when the Wildcats played Hawley, met up in Rawls, and it was a blowout victory for the Littlefield Wildcats. Unfortunately, that won't count toward the district standings, but it was, I think, a good thing for Littlefield to get back on the winning track.
Yeah, initially Littlefield jumped out to a 3-0 lead, and then Hawley was able to get 2 runs, so therefore for a few innings, it was only 3-2, and then Littlefield definitely got their bats hot and opened up the lead. In 1 inning, they had 17 runs. So good signs right there for Littlefield going forward for district, finishing off district.
Well, and, we had a very successful non-district schedule prior to coming into district play, and we came in hot We really felt like we were one of the best teams in the state, and I think everybody else did too. And we were, I think, 11-3 when the Wildcats came into district. And the games that we won, we really got it done with pitching and defense. All season long, we haven't been one of those teams that's going to put 20 runs on the board on any given game day. So all of a sudden, we get into district, and our pitching and defense start slumping a little bit, and we haven't had the bats to overcome that. And sometimes a good hitting team can survive poor pitching and poor defensive play, but through that 3-game losing streak for the Wildcats, the one thing I saw was that our pitching wasn't there, our defense at times wasn't there, and we just we couldn't manufacture enough runs to overcome that.
Yeah, so for the most part, we're a lunch pail, blue collar type of team. We have to go out there, fire on all cylinders, offense and defense, and grind out wins. Like you said, we're not necessarily. I think we do have a lot of good bats, but at the same time, we haven't really had a blowout, set for Holly last Friday. But other than that, a lot of our games have been very close, and then we've been able to get a couple mercy rules. But for the most part, we just don't have quite the bats, and we have to play smart, and we have to play our game. And our game is kind of a grind you out, play good defense, and hit timely hits and kind of be a little bit aggressive on the base pads. Kind of pick and choose when we're going to be aggressive, and we just have to grind wins out.
Yes, sir. And I was going to mention this. I don't know if it feels this way to you, but I've heard other people in town say this. This season for the Littlefield Wildcats is eerily similar to last year. I know last year we were the Cinderella team. We were the team flying under the radar. We lost 3 games in district play, which coincidentally right now we have 3 losses in district with 3 games to go. It felt the same at this point last year that it does this year. And I remember you and I having conversations about the Wildcats at this point last season, wondering, if we were even going to get into the playoffs. And then we do get into the playoffs, get hot, and make it all the way to the state tournament. So I'm not saying lightning will strike twice and this team is going to do the same thing that last year's team did. But what I am saying is we don't have anything to worry about as long as we keep playing the way that we can play.
I'm really excited to kind of see when we get into the playoffs to see exactly what we're going to do. We're a team that's been through the playoffs. We kind of fought our way. We got down to some games, and we had to fight our way all the way up to the state tournament. So I'm really excited to see what these players are going to do around playoff time. Once you get to the playoffs, everybody's 0-0, and anybody can win the state championship.
One thing that I've seen this year from this Wildcats baseball team is that when we play our best baseball, I don't know if anybody can beat us. These kids are very capable of doing some very special things this season.
Yeah, I think we have a very good chance. I think we match up against anybody, if you ask me. I believe last year we matched up fairly well against West, but West just had a lot of more experience. It was our first time in the state tournament. It was their second time in the state tournament. I think they just kind of knew exactly how to play in the state tournament, and that's one experience what it comes down to.
Yes, sir. Well, the Wildcats, of course, this Tuesday night will play the Dimmitt Bobcats at home. And then after that, the Wildcats will visit Friona in Friona, and hopefully we'll be able to get some revenge against the Chieftains. They're a team that has beaten us several times in a row in district play. So we will have the remainder of the Wildcats season here at West 11 Sports Media. If you can't make it out to the ballpark to cheer on the Wildcats, home and away, be sure and tune into the broadcast with me and Keith anytime the Wildcats take the field right here at west11sports.com. Also want to touch on Littlefield High School track. I was hoping to have some track and field results from the District 2-3A championships. I don't have those results to pass along, but I know the Wildcats and especially the Lady Cats did very well at the district track meet. They're moving on to the area track meet, which will be held in Tulia on Wednesday of this week, and we want to send them all the very best as well, and hopefully we'll have some individual results to pass along here at West 11 Sports very soon. But again, we talk about it every week, Keith. We've got a really good girls track team and some very talented boys as well.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully would like to see some of these players move on, some of these athletes move on to the regional track meet. We have a lot of good kids out there, and I believe a lot of these kids will be able to move on to regional, hopefully.
Yes, sir. Well, we hope so, too, as the Wildcats and Lady Cats are moving on through the spring sports. And again, here at West 11 Sports Media, we want to send all the best to all of the Littlefield High School athletes out competing. And we want to remind everybody, all of this stuff we talk about is above and beyond the academic world. These kids are all working hard to make the grade. They're doing a lot of other things in addition to athletics. And, they are, when all's said and done, student athletes. Student comes first, and we're very proud of the accomplishments of all of our kids at Littlefield High School that not only make the grade in the classroom, but excel in athletics as well. So we definitely want to support them and encourage the community to do the same. Anything else before we head out today?
I also want to send good luck out to the academic UIL people that will be going out to the regional UIL meet, or however you say it. They're going in Abilene starting on Friday and Saturday.
Yes, sir. All right. We'll see you next week. Appreciate it. Keith Logan, I'm Cody West. You've been listening to Wildcats Weekly here at West11sports.com.